Hello, my name is Courtland Barrett, and today I will be doing my TED Talk over why racism thrives off being silent. When you hear the word racism, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? When I hear the words racism, I think of Black Lives Matter, I think of Stop Asian Hate, I think of so many things. The definition of racism is when one race thinks they're better than the other race and they choose to mistreat or treat them a certain way based off this belief. In this country, and ever since I can remember, I have witnessed racism, whether I have witnessed other people being racist or I have experienced someone being racist towards me just because of the color of my skin. But once you think about it, what do you do, or how can you make things better? Because I understand some people, they have their belief on certain things and there's no changing their belief. But when you see something or someone being mistreated, what do you do? Because if you stay silent on a situation, how does that help? My mom always used to say, a closed mouth never got fed. Or you could lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. So how do you fix a problem by being silent? Because let's just say, me and you are walking in a store, and say you're a different color than I am. You're a different race. And you notice that because I'm in the store with you, that you notice that I'm being stereotyped, or I'm walking in the store and somebody's following behind me in the store because they think I'm going to steal, or you just notice racial things or racial slurs being said. What do you do? Because if you sit there and you stay silent about it, it's going to continue to happen. And the more we're silent on the situation, is the more things are going to continue to happen. And this doesn't just go for African Americans. This goes for anybody. Because at the end of the day, everybody deserves to be treated the same. Everybody, our melanin and our skin pigment may be different, but we all have the same color blood running through our bodies. So if you see someone being mistreated, or you see something that is wrong, why don't you speak up? I mean, why would you want to stay silent? If the shoe was on the other foot and if somebody was mistreating you because of the color of your skin, wouldn't you want them to say something? Like, wouldn't you want somebody to come to your defense? And it's not about, well, okay, if I say something, maybe nothing will be done. That's not the case. Because, yeah, things may not change, but at least everyone is acknowledging there's an issue. And any type of program or rehabilitation center you go into, they always say the first step is admitting that you have a problem or there is a problem. Once you realize there is a problem, what are you going to do to stand up about your belief about it? How are you going to handle and approach it? If you see someone that's being mistreated because of the color of their skin, or if you see someone that's being mistreated at all, you should speak up and say something. Because if we're silent, if we continue to be silent, things are gonna get way worse than what they are. We have to speak up and use our voices, because it's not just going to be one voice. It's going to be a lot of voices that's going to be willing to be heard. But we all have to figure out how to speak together. How would someone know what's going through our minds or what we're thinking if we don't act and say nothing? Racism continues to go on because a lot of people are silent about it. I understand why some people are silent about it. You have people that are silent because they're afraid of losing what they have. Afraid of losing family, afraid of losing friends, afraid of losing their jobs, afraid of losing business. But right is right and wrong is wrong. If you start speaking out and more people start speaking out, a lot of people are going to be heard. And once everyone is starting to be heard and everyone is listening, things can change for the better. And I hate that in the world that we're living in today, people are scared to speak up. And it's bad to know that if I speak up because somebody is being mistreated, I could take a loss. but it then it goes back to how people are raised or their beliefs and things like that. So I know growing up as a child, I had to listen to what my mother and father told me. I could not speak against them because in their mind, they were showing me the best way to go. As I got older, I learned to form an opinion by myself. So my parents raised me to treat everyone equally, to treat adults with respect, and to just be plain out, just be nice and kind to everybody, and do not disrespect anybody unless they disrespect you. That's how it's raised. But if you have somebody else raised in a household and they're raised to hate a certain race or to feel a certain way about people that have a different skin color as them, that's a problem. But once you grow up believing that so long, and once you realize what your parents have been instilling you all these years are wrong, and it's kind of hard to step out that shadow of it. So you necessarily don't mistreat people, but when you see people being mistreated, you don't say anything. If you're not part of the solution, that means you're part of the problem. Racism is thriving so much. It's because of how people were being raised. If you're raised to hate somebody, you can be raised to hate somebody, because you're going to be instilled to you about like these stereotypes about how people of different races are. Like, I know one common thing that you may hear, like, oh, you know, Mexicans, they come over, they're stealing our jobs, they're doing this, they're doing that. And that's something I hear commonly, but this is America. We're supposed to be the place of change and the place of opportunity. So when people of a different minority or Mexicans, they come over and they try to make themselves a better living or give themselves a better opportunity to strive in the world, who are we as Americans to say, you don't belong here, go back to where you came? But we're supposed to be the land of opportunity. My thing is, with this TED Talk, it made me think about a lot of things. And it's not that, oh, only everybody can experience racism, and everybody can be racist and not even know that they're being racist. But if you see someone doing something that you know is not right, or mistreating someone or hurting somebody's feelings, be the voice to speak up and say, hey, you know, that's not right, you're not supposed to do that, or look how you're making that person feel. Or it's like, don't be afraid to call someone out on their BS, because some people are uneducated and don't know. Some people are really uneducated and don't know, or probably are not intentionally meaning to hurt someone's feelings, but they are doing it. And some people are racist and they're not intentionally trying to be racist. So if we're having a conversation and I say something that's offensive to your race, then let me know, because TikTok videos, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, a lot of jokes and stuff are told on those sites, and a lot of things we repeat what we hear, and I may not realize that, hey, this is offensive. I may be saying it as a joke, but I may not realize it's being offensive. So if that's the case, if no one tells me that I'm wrong for saying what I'm saying, or if no one calls out the person who made the joke and say, hey, you know, that's wrong or that's racist what you're saying, if no one says nothing, it's going to continue to go on, and people are going to continue to be hurt by the words. So we can't stay silent. We have to speak up. And that doesn't just go for, only speak up for, you know, the African American community, the Mexican community, the Asian community. It goes for Caucasian. It goes for everybody. If you see something is being wrong or being said that's wrong or racist, speak up on it, because if you don't speak up on it, it's just going to continue to grow.